Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, this morning I'm able to continue to make this video. So today is Friday. Let's see what's the date today. Friday the 12th of November. Yes, it's November. So the time is fast approaching. Soon we'll be in the new year 2022. Okay, very soon. 1.5 months will be in the new year 2022. We had a hope next year that we can travel to other countries. The vaccination rate going up, and then we become less worrying about COVID-19 because of so many people already, high percentage of people being vaccinated, and there is also a hope that the mosque will be open again to the public, so the normal activities in the mosque can resume, inshallah. Okay, brothers and sisters, why this video is important is because we are facing the future that is critical, whether we pass the test or fail the test. We have to think about it. Be prepared. If we don't think about it, then the chances of failure is high. If we think about it, we prepare, and the chances of success is high. So we have to make a choice, intelligent choice of thinking about it and be prepared of this coming day of judgment. First, we have to believe, and then after believing, then we have to do good, being obedient to our Creator. Is it hard to believe? I cannot say easy, because there are many people who don't believe. There are also many people who just pretend to believe. So I cannot answer the question as easy. I cannot answer it as hard as well, because there's a logic and Allah had given us guidance and question us like the question, you have not existed before. So we don't have argument to argue that we don't have Creator, because we have not existed before. So from thinking over this, then if you think of this deeply, then it will mend your heart. Yes, our heart need to be mended, because Allah has described also in the Revelation, fi qulubihim maradun fazadahumullahu marada. In their heart is a disease. Allah increase the disease, and they will get severe punishment. So meaning that we have to mend our heart, nurse our heart, look after our heart, make our heart free of disease. Otherwise, we come to sin, we become gone astray. So all this I got from reading the Koran, knowing that our heart can get disease, and Allah would increase the disease. If you choose not to look after your heart and your heart got disease, Allah then increase the disease. So, why? Because we are given brain, and if we had used our brain, we'll be able to think. Of course, we have also to ask for help from our Creator. So when we do our prayer, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, only you we worship and only you we ask for help. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim, show me the right path. So there is also, we think about it and we ask for help from our Creator to correct us, mend our heart, to make our heart free of the disease. And their dua or this asking is what we recite when we perform our prayer. So the people who don't perform the prayer will not have recited this, and they are seen as rebellious. And if they are seen as rebellious, they will be seen as having heart that have disease. And in the Revelation saying they will be punished severely. On that page alone, I came across 2 sentences of the punishment. One is above this, there is another sentence. They will be punished with the punishment that is severe. So a lot of sentences in the Koran warning us of the punishment, and there are also a lot of the good news of telling us that people who believe, people who obey will be admitted to paradise. So, brothers and sisters, I think I complete my preaching 80% to myself and 20% for those who listen to this video. Hopefully would get benefit from it as much as I got the benefit. So now let me talk on other things, what happening in this world. I don't know whether I can talk on other things other than about China, because when I switch on my smart TV, there are so many YouTube on China. But let me see what other thing I can say besides China. I was talking about Taliban. Let's see whether I can talk about Taliban. Okay, in the Taliban YouTube, there are many people who make YouTube. Some are positive on Taliban, some are negative. So I don't know which one to believe, the negative on Taliban or positive. But I know one thing, this Taliban is right. In the religion, they are right because they uphold the Sharia law. So in this way they are right. So when they rule, they say they will impose Sharia law in the country. So they are, put this way, they are right, they are good Muslims, and maybe that's how they survive, being good Muslim and being right. They had a war with US for 20 years. If you follow the YouTube, they're fighting with the US. How many bombs have been dropped? How many had been killed when the bomb is dropped? But then if you question why the bomb that been dropped had not wiped off the Taliban, they still survive. They still can recruit the people who would fight for them. Then how is this happening? If you think so many died already, nobody want to join them. But somehow their number increased, and even recently there is they have opposition. People who oppose their rule, they're fighting. They're fighting for the control in the valley of Panjshir, where I see in the YouTube that they're saying hundreds of Taliban killed. The Taliban were trapped and they were killed in 100, 600, and they were captured, things like that. I don't know whether it's true or not, but Taliban is still around, still in Kabul, still fighting. And recently they make a parade of Taliban army. Taliban army using US equipment, US truck. What else? Humphrey parading on the street. And they even use different uniform. What I know before, the Taliban were fighting with a uniform which they also use to pray in mosque. That kind of uniform. But now I see them wearing different uniform, and they say their uniform come from Korea, so they must have buy this a lot of uniform from Korea. It's like the normal army wearing that what we call the fatigue or camouflage uniform, and they were also wearing helmet, look like quality helmet, bulletproof helmet, and they're also wearing bulletproof vest. In their weapon or gun have this telescope to aim target. Look very modern weapon. Maybe that kind of weapon had been used by US Army, and they take it, make it as their own weapons. No longer AK-44. Used to be all the time AK-44, but now the variety of weapon, M16s, maybe there's still AK-44 of different version. And at one time I seen a video that they are guarding the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, because this insurgent or the resistance got help from Pakistan, which is a neighboring country, not friendly with Taliban. But the Pakistan president is friendly with Taliban. The Turkish president Erdogan is friendly with Taliban. Of course, this Turkish president is strong in his religious outlook and belief, so he also kind of support the country that uphold the Sharia law. So he is not the person who likely to be opposing the Taliban. So the Taliban also have friends. But one thing that surprised me, China is also friendly with Taliban. That is a surprise to me. Why? China is friendly with Taliban. Maybe it has to do with Taliban had been fighting with US and not friendly with India, so maybe China, see them. They don't like our enemy, so they become friends. So things like that, I believe, can happen. If you don't like my enemy, though I don't like you very much, then you are my friend. So something like that can happen. So is Taliban finished? No, Taliban is not finished. Some YouTube indicate they stabilize the country, and on 2 or 3 days ago I seen the video in the street, plenty of fruit sold. So the people selling fruits, when I look at the fruits they sold, and like also to buy, it's not far, we'll go there and buy fruits. So many nice looking fruits sold. So the tree bear fruits, a lot of fruits, which is also an indication of Allah is happy with the Taliban. The fruit trees grow like so many. So that look like a country is more stable now under the Taliban. Though maybe people don't have money, and I heard their assets and money have been freezed by the US, things like that. Of course, the US want to make Taliban to be not supported by the people because they had been enemies. So they're trying to do anything to stabilize the country. But then Taliban appear to be what we call resilient. Yes, I got the word to describe Taliban as resilient. People still join the Taliban because of they are in the right path. They support the law of Creator or the Sharia to be practiced in Afghanistan. And of course, there are people who don't have this strong inclination to Islam, would oppose them. But then people who oppose them will be seen as people who oppose the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the believers and people who are strong in their religion would see them as not true believers. So there will be question of why they don't support, or they support the wrong group. If they support the resistance, I believe they support the wrong group. So the people who incline to religion would support the Taliban, and that is the reason why Taliban is resilient. They can keep recruiting their armies. So the young people believe they are fighting in the way of Allah. So they join the Taliban. Of course, if they believe they are fighting in the way of Allah, they don't have to worry. Meaning that if they die, then they will die in the manner that Allah would accept them and admitted them to paradise. So that is the right choice they believe they make on joining the Taliban. Had they joined the resistance, then we have to see what if this resistance rule and what they will do. They will more be influenced by the Western style, maybe the democracy, and once they are influenced by these people, then they are not having independence, and the religion will be kind of being opposed, become less religion, more of Western style of life, which of course in a country we have always the people who believe, and there are also people who don't believe. Or if people also, or if the people who believe are strong, then these people can pretend they believe. It's always there, the believers and non-believers. Even during Prophet Muhammad time, there are believers and non-believers and the pretenders. So this group of people, kafirun, munafikin, and muslimin. Kafirun, munafikin, and muslimun. The believers, non-believers, and non-pretenders. Of course, the people in Afghanistan also divided in this category of non-believers. There are Afghanistan also being communist. When before the Taliban, Afghanistan was like a communist country. So when they are communists, they may be atheists and all sort of communist idea that come in their mind, and they were helped at one time by the Russian, very much influenced by Russia, who were communists. And of course, if they want to become a leader, they have to become communist as well, like the Russian at that time. And later the American, and after communist was defeated by the Taliban, so there had been a Taliban rule at one time. I don't know how many years, and this Taliban defy US. US said, give us Osama bin Laden. But the Taliban had refused to give Osama bin Laden, and they were even threatened if they had not give Osama bin Laden to US, then they will be at war with US. The Taliban will be at war with US. So someone drew a cartoon, Taliban riding a camel, and then there was F-16 chasing him riding the camel. So that is the cartoon I seen. The Taliban riding a camel was chased by F-16. So in fact, it shocked the world when Taliban decided to go for war with US. It really shocked the world because they thought, oh, we are scared, we are not strong. Okay, we'll give this Osama bin Laden to you because we don't want to have war with you. But when Taliban say we don't, then if you want to have war with us, then it's your call. So Bush was the time, I think, was the president of US, then sent army, I think 100 over 1,000 US army at that time coming to Taliban to fight the Taliban. They drop bomb, fighting, weapons like that. But surprisingly, Taliban was not defeated. They hide in the mountain. It's not only US was fighting with the Taliban. It was also Canada, US, the French. And I remember the Canadian woman pilot. So she was piloting his, maybe I don't know what plane she was piloting. And this woman pilot make a mistake. he bombed his friend, her friend. The friendly army was killed by the mistake made the pilots. So this pilot error had occurred because it's not easy to see if they see soldiers on the ground. They would not be able to see whether these soldiers are Taliban, foe or friend, enemy or friend. So when she press a button, drop a bomb, and the news came that the pilot killed their friend, not the Taliban. So that is, I remember, mistake of the pilots occur as well. And maybe it's not one mistake, there are maybe other as well. Maybe that is not one case, maybe other case as well, where identification of enemy, foe or friend is a problem. Even in modern plane nowadays, it's equipped with electronic to identify, yes, this plane is enemy, this plane is friend. So it's not up to the pilot to tell, yes, this is friend. So the mistake can occur that firing or sending missile to a friendly jet, not the enemy, can occur. And that's why now modern jet have this mean to identify friend or enemy. Okay, brothers and sisters, enough of talk on what is going on in this world, what is going on in the past on this world. So now let me read the Quran to you. Let's see the marking. Okay, brothers and sisters, we are now on page 126 to get the barakah of this morning. Let me read the first sentence in Arabic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. يوم يجمع الله الرسل فيقول ماذا أجبتم قالوا لا علم لنا إنك أنت علام الغيوب صدق الله العظيم. Remember, on the day when Allah gather messengers, His messengers, then Allah asks to them, what is the answer of your people? on your message. The messenger say, we don't know the answer. Verily you are all-knowing. So, striking answer, even the messenger don't know. Because a person, the real answer is from the heart. Maybe the mouth is saying something, the heart. Because belief is a matter of heart, so only Allah knows. So this answer is given. We don't know. Verily only you know. You know because you are all-knowing. Then remember, Allah say, "Oh Jesus, son of Mary, remember my favor to you and my favor to your mother when I strengthen you with Ruhul Kudus." So there's word here, Ruhul Kudus. Let's see what's the meaning. Okay, let's skip that because I'm not sure actually what is the meaning of Ruhul Kudus. Engkau dapat bicara. Oh, sorry, I speak Malay. Different. Then you were able to speak. Okay, this is when he was a baby. He was able to speak to the people. You could talk when you were still a baby. And remember, I teach you writing and the favor of knowledge, Taurat, Injil. And remember, you make from earth like birth with my permission, and you blow to it, then it become real birth with my permission. So one of the miracle of Jesus mentioned here is that Jesus make a bird, so he kind of make a bird figure from earth. Then he blow to the bird figure that he make. Then the bird came to life. And remember, when you cure the people who had been blind from his birth, and the people who have this disease, leprosy, the lepers, with my leaf. Then remember that you make the people who had died to be alive again with my permission. And remember when I stopped the children of Israel from killing you. And when you clarify to them on what is going on, and the unbelievers among them saying, this is just a magic, that is clear. So these unbelievers seeing the miracle, they say it's magic. So this also happened with the Prophet Muhammad, when his uncle, whom Prophet has shown miracle, in the end his uncle said, this is only magic. And remember when your loyal follower who say, believe you to me and to his messenger. So his loyal player preaching to the people, asking people to believe in Allah and Jesus as his messenger. And they say, we believe and be the witness. O the Prophet, verily we are the people who surrender. The word there, surrender or submit, is Muslim. So the word Muslim means surrender or submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember when the follower of Jesus said, "Oh Jesus, the son of Mary, be ready that your Lord reveal with the food from the heaven to us." Then Jesus answered, put the trust to Allah, or the people who believe. Okay, this is the miracle where the follower of Jesus, the 12 disciples, had been served by the food from heaven. I think it is also known as the Last Supper. And I've seen many some people draw this event of the Last Supper. They say we would like the food to be served from heaven so that our heart become more strong in belief. As you have said the truth to us, and we are becoming the witness of the serving of food from heaven. So what these 12 disciples were asking was, they want to increase their belief. So they want Jesus to ask from God to serve food from heaven to increase their belief, so that their heart become more settled in their belief. Okay, let's complete my reading of the Quran. So now let me read Gospel of Barnabas. Okay, I'm reading to you. This page on chapter 127, rather a very long chapter. So I finished reading it this morning of this chapter 1 to 8. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. O pride unheard of this pride of man, who being created by God out of the earth forget his condition and would fain make God at his own pleasure, wherein he silently mock God, as though he should say, there is no use in serving God, for so do their work show. To this did Satan desire to reduce you, O brethren, in making you believe me to be God, because I not being able to create a fly, and being passable and mortal, I can give you nothing of use, seeing that I myself need of everything. How then could I help you in all things, as it is proper to God to do? Shall we then, who have for our God, the great God who has created the universe with his word, mock at the Gentiles and their gods? There were two men who came up here into the temple to pray. The one was a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee drew nigh to the sanctuary, and praying with his face uplifted and said, I give thee thanks, O Lord my God, because I am not as other men, sinners, who do every wickedness, particularly at this publican. For I fast twice in a week and give tithes on all I possess. The publican remained afar, bowed down to the earth, beating his breast, and said with bent head, Lord, I am not worthy to look upon the heaven, nor upon thy sanctuary, for I have sinned much. Have mercy upon me. Verily I say unto you, the publican went down from the temple and better case than the Pharisee, for that our God justified him, forgiving him all his sin. But the Pharisee went down in worse case than the publican, because our God rejected him, having his work in abomination. So the one who really sincere, humble, and ask forgiveness is better than the other person. Okay, that complete my reading of the Gospel of Barnabas. Thank you very much for listening.